Hey, what's up everybody? This is Mark, and today I'm going to go through the file for this Jukebox smart speaker holder. This is going to be a lot of fun to make. You're going to really love it, but I want to call your attention to a couple things before we go through the file just to make this as easy as it possibly can for you. For starters, if you've already read the description, you know this already, but you can use any generation of Echo Dots in this one, or you can use the Google Home Mini as well. And as you'll see, I'll show you the back in just a minute, but we've got the current version of the Echo Dot in here, and it just sets right in there in front of that hole in the middle. And for the Echo Dots previous to this that look like little pucks, they can also go in here too. And let me turn this around. I'll show you how this works. On the back, there's a nice big hole here, so you can easily access where the dot goes. And again, this one, you can just slide right in there and it sits like this. This is the one version that you really can't reach the buttons very well from the front. So if you want to reach these, you'll have to reach in through the back just like this. The rest of them, what you can do is you can use this little U-shaped piece that I included in the file, and it just slides right in here like this, and your puck-shaped speaker can sit right in that. And then when you turn it around, it ends up having the buttons right here where you can reach them. Now, me personally, I don't really push the buttons a whole lot, so it doesn't matter for me, but depending on your style, that might help you a little bit. So again, any version of smart speaker, whether it be the Google Home Mini or all of the different Echo Dots, will work just fine in here. And of course, your cord comes out the back here. Let me also show you a couple other things that you'll want to keep in mind. You can make the record-shaped coasters. They're really cool. You can make them out of anything you want. We made them out of both black or dark acrylic here like this, or the hot pink there, and they just set right in here. So this makes it also useful for coasters as well. It looks great. You could even personalize this if you wanted to put different bands or songs on those. That would be cool as well. Mix and match colors, whatever you prefer on that one. Let's walk around the file real quick as far as a couple things I want to draw your attention to, and then we'll look at the file itself. The living hinge here that goes right across the top is really cool. It's very easy to make. But I want to draw your attention to one thing. You'll see this in the other video that I made. But when you're gluing this together, one end goes right underneath these neon bars. The other end goes under these here. So when you're gluing them in there, we use super glue when we're using our super glue gel. And so what I do is I put just a line of super glue right on the end of it. And then I'll use both hands and just hold it there until it cures, which is for us about 10 or 15 seconds. And then I curve it up over the top and glue the other side on as well. There are two supports that are underneath here, which again, you'll see here in the file and the other video. And I put super glue on those as well. So when I'm arcing it across, it's going to glue onto those and then glue to the other side. One thing you could do is you could use some painter's tape. If you need to hold that on for a little bit, you could do that. But for us, when it's super glue, I just hold it on there. And then when it cures, it's good to go. And then when you glue these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces on here, what you want to do is you want this whole unit of pieces here to cover up the seam between the living hinge and the rest of the body, so that way you don't see it. So you'll see in the video that I did these all as a group. You can do whatever you want to there, whatever's easy for you. But ultimately what I probably do is line this top one up kind of with the top of this song choice thing right here. And then you'll just move the rest of them down. And so it alternates big one, small, big, like this. Glue those all on there. Make sure they're all lined up there. The alignment on the back right here might vary just a little bit depending on the thickness of your material. So don't worry too much about that. Just push them all this direction and then glue them on there. Same thing with these down here and here. And then one more thing I'll draw your attention to, then we'll look at the file itself. There are a couple of slots in this design. We made them all 0.26 because two reasons. One is when you paint all your pieces, your material gets a lot thicker. So even if your material is 0.24, 0.23, when you put paint on it, it's going to get thicker. So we intentionally made it that way so that it would be easier for us. What I recommend that you do is paint a piece of material, measure it with the paint on both sides, and then you'll know what size to adjust your slots. You could even take a scrap piece of your material, paint it on both sides and measure it that way, and then you'll be pretty good to go on the slots. They don't have to be tight. In fact, I recommend that they don't be really tight because you can still glue them in easily. These slots around this design, there's one right here for this shelf here. There's also coasters on the floor now. There's also two slots here for this piece and this piece that go right in here. When you're assembling this, make sure that you put this piece in and these pieces in before you put the living hinge over top, because it'd be kind of hard to put them in otherwise. So there's a slot there for this one for the ends. There's a slot underneath here, and we'll look at those in the design there as well. So let's jump into the file and walk through that, and this will be a lot of fun, make it a lot easier for you to make, and don't dump your coasters on the floor. All right, let's walk through all the parts of this jukebox. There's several pieces here, but it's really not hard to put together at all. We're going to start here from the top left and work our way around. So we've got the two side pieces that have the pattern cut out of them. There's this one right here, and then this one right here. And those, of course, just go on either side, just like this, right there and right there. Then we've got what I'm going to refer to as the back, because it is the back. That's this one right here that has the hole in the back, right here. We put one of the coasters in the middle there just to save space. So we've got coasters here, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And, of course, you can cut as many or as few as you'd like. And in this back piece, you've got this slot right here that's 0.26. You're going to want to edit that for your material if you need to. And also, as I said up here in the top, red lines equal score, black lines equal cut. So on the records, you've got the red score lines. And then you've also got this score line right here on the back piece. And that indicates where you're going to put these two curved pieces right here. I'll go ahead and turn this one around just to show you approximately where it goes. When you put this one, glue this one right here, that's going to allow the living hinge a place to rest on as it goes over the top curve. So this is the back piece. This right here is the little holder for the puck-shaped speakers that I referred to in the intro. Then you've got here the song selector on the front, and these are the dividers that go on the song selector here. And, ooh, that is really crooked. Let's try this. And they just glue right there like that, 1, 2, 3, and 4, just like you saw in the assembly video. If you haven't watched that already, go ahead and check that out. And then here are the neon pieces that go on the side, right like this. And the skinnier ones are going to be the ones that I got painted red here. There's all of these here. And then the fatter ones are the silver, so they go on the outside. So silver, red, silver, just like that. Moving over here to this part, this page here, we've got the front face, which is this right here that sits right on the front. This one here that's painted with this ombre color here. And then we've got the silver piece that sits right in like this, right here. Another speaker, of course, a record. Going down here, we've got this piece here, which is the bottom, which goes, of course, on the bottom there, right like that. And then we've got these pieces here. You could refer to these as a little curtain, perhaps. The little red pieces we've got in here, and they go into this piece right here. The slots are also 0.26, so you want to adjust those if you need to. It's really okay if they're quite loose, because you can just glue them in there almost no matter how loose it is. If you need to adjust these slots, what I would do is I would turn them straight 90 degrees or flat like this, adjust them, and then put them back on top of where they are currently. That'll make it easier. And then you've got the curved piece right here that goes right like this over this piece. And the last piece left is the living hinge here that goes over the top. Oh, one more piece. There's a decorative piece right here also that goes right here on the front. A couple little keys here. I recommend that you only make this with 1/4" material. It's okay if your 1/4" varies from 0.2 to 0.25. You really don't want to make this with much thinner material than that. That's totally up to you, of course, but I wouldn't. If you make it with 1/8", it's not going to work very well for a variety of reasons, including that your tabs on the tabs on these things like these shelves are going to stick way out, and you're going to have to adjust it quite a bit. So I would stick with 1/4" material on this one. You see, it takes 4 sheets of material here to make it, and yeah, I think you're really going to love it. Let me know if you have any questions about it. Make sure you check out the other video if you haven't already, and I'd love to see what you guys make with these. Let me know if you have any questions, but until then, as always, I'll see you in the group.